I absolutely love the early works by the artist Jessica Dismorr, and this is one of her earliest works. And for me, it's such an exciting period. I think it's her most enticing period, arguably. She's painting at a time in Britain when British artists aren't particularly familiar with the language of abstract art. But here she's really pushing the boundaries of what figuration can be, almost to the level of abstraction. These really pared back, simplified lines, although they are quite stylized, you still completely understand the message that she's trying to get across and the landscape that she's created. She's also drawing you into the painting through these really bold lines in the foreground that pull you right back into that field. And the colour as well, that's so warm, really draws you in, makes you feel very close to this area in the foreground. Whereas these blues and greys in the background create a real sense of depth. So just through a few lines, she's created a really complex narrative and a complex composition throughout this landscape. This idea and this theory of colour she really was engaging with at the time through the Fauvists, and they had a really interesting theory on colour, whereby if you think of the normal artist's colour wheel, where you have a circle of colours and the colours opposite each other don't usually mesh that well together. The artists, the Fauves, and this is what Jessica Dismorr is doing, is taking those colours which are opposite each other normally and placing them right next to each other. So for example, here you can see the blue and orange that are placed directly next to each other and even outlining the trees, which creates a real sense of vibrancy, and the colours really zing off the board. The very sketchy and almost hastily way that it's painted, I think, also really adds to the charm. You can kind of picture her just picking up these boards and going out for the day and painting a scene which really appeals to her. And that's why I absolutely love this work by Jessica Dismorr.